Well, it's the end of my Sunday night. Just added up the money. Just added up all the interacts and counted the money, and I got $273 on, which, you know, it could be worse. What I liked about it was the pace. The night was not ridiculously busy. It was just a nice, steady pace, relaxed, easygoing, no rush, just do the job. I didn't feel stressed at all night long. So I'm not complaining. I don't mind if I only made $273. If I'd made $400, I would be stressed out and angry right now. But $273, it's okay. It gets the bills paid. One of my morning customers was someone who we go back, at least 20 years. And, you know, it's funny. Back 25 years ago, she was, I guess, a waitress or she worked in a bar anyway. I think she was serving drinks. She wasn't the bartender, but she was taking the drinks to people's tables and stuff. And I used to drive her to work all the time in the evening. And I thought she was a little bit stuck up. Back then. But you know, now you put 20 more years of maturity on me and on her, and it's such a pleasant interaction that we have now, just, you know, remembering the past and remembering everything. And, you know, she's turned into a much more pleasant person than she was back in the day. What do you know? There are few customers that I can go back that far with, but she's one of those. And it just so happened that I was in her part of town when she called, and I went to pick her up because she's nowhere near the part of town where I work. She works in a supermarket now. I don't know if she's running the cash register or if she's doing the deli, probably something like that, deli or bakery, since she went to work quite early in the morning. So right now I'm just heading down to the bank to make a deposit. And after the bank, it will be the gas station. And after the gas station, it might be a meeting with Mr. Punctual. I got 15 minutes. The time is 5:45 right now. And so hopefully I'll get my money deposited and the tank fueled up, and the car back before he shows up for work. I think I'm doing okay right now. I might as well book off because it is the end. Yep. Okay. 4 more nights to go this week. Yippee. What?
You smoke?
No, sorry.
Fuck, I don't think I brought mine with me. Come back.
It's been a slow, relaxing Monday night. I have 260 on only because I did have a couple of longer fares. And this last one was kind of weird. I got sent to an address to pick up a customer, and she and I guess her son went to the hospital to pick somebody up who's apparently a minor and they won't let her out of the emergency ward without an adult being there to pick her up. And the woman's car broke down, so she called for a cab, and it was me. And it looks like they're not letting the girl out anytime soon, so they paid me off, and I'm gone. I'm rushing to the car wash, even though it is raining. I'm rushing to the car wash like I would on any Tuesday morning with to wash the car, and then I'm going to detail the interior and hit the bank and fuel up and go home, and then go to my chiropractor's appointment. There was a period of time that was almost 4 hours long between 12:30 and 4 where I didn't have any business at all. No business at all, nothing. No calls, nothing. I fell asleep. I even brought my charger cord so that I could have enough power in the phone to do this vlog segment. Otherwise my phone would be completely depleted. I think it was plugged in that whole 4 hours, and at the end of those 4 hours of watching videos and movies, it was only at 44%. So now it's starting to rain more. Now that I get to the end of my shift, it's starting to rain more. So if the wipers are making any noise, now you know why. Yeah, things have sure been winding down lately. 4 hours without a trip. And now, what did I say I was at? 260? Yeah. So I got 3 more nights to go this week. Yippee. Well, it's Wednesday morning at the airport. Time is now 4:35 a.m. I just counted the Interac slips and credit card receipts and cash. I got $323. It was busy for much of the night, and then at 2 it died right down, and I had a break of almost 2 hours between pulling into the parking lot, starting to watch a video and falling asleep, and then my next call, which was a 4:10 time call. So now I got an hour and a half to go before Mr. Punctual shows up, approximately. It's a funny thing, you know, a couple mornings ago, I had a headlight burnt out. And I didn't feel like changing it. So I just pulled in behind Mr. Punctual, who was waiting for me when I parked the car, and he changed it. Now imagine my surprise last night when I went through a roadblock and they were doing a sobriety check, and of course I was sober. He said, there are a lot of drunk drivers out there. I said, I haven't seen any. He said, and by the way, your right front headlight is out. I said, really? Again? I should have a spare somewhere. So I ended up changing the other light bulb. Because the one that was out 2 days before was the left one, now it was the right one. So I changed it. Traffic is getting heavy here. Traffic is getting heavy at the old airport. Look at this. I haven't been up here in a while. But this time I got my time call and out they came. Interrupted my sleep for $62. I might go back to sleep again. 2 more nights to go. Okay. It's Thursday morning. At the airport. 4:46 a.m. I've got about, I don't know, 260 or so on. Maybe a bit less. 230. I haven't counted. Could be 240. Somewhere in there. This last fare was a strange one. I was sent to a bus stop in front of the General Hospital. And the customer was a young man, I don't know, in his early 20s, I'd say. He had a skateboard. Now, this has been a really slow night. I mean, I waited for, I think, a couple hours before getting that last call. So I was sent to this bus stop in front of the hospital to pick up this guy. And he says, take me to a bus stop on Douglas Street so I can catch the ferry. Okay. So I'm heading in that direction. And then he says, how much is it to Sydney? I say, Sydney's about $50. He says, oh, no, I guess I won't be doing that. I'll take the bus instead. So I'm heading into town. I'm turning onto the highway to go into town from the General Hospital to get him to a bus stop that will go to the ferries. And he says, oh, I'm feeling sick now. Can you take me back to the hospital? And I said, well, now that we've turned onto the highway, I have to go to the next exit to come back. And he said, oh. I said, well, if you don't mind, I can do that. And he says, and then he opens up the window in the back a little bit. And he says, oh, forget it. Just take me to the bus stop so I can take the ferry. Okay. Then he says, well, I tell him, well, it's 4:30. Gonna be a while till the next bus. You're gonna be waiting. And it's cold and wet and yucky out there. He says, oh, really? There's no bus right away? I said, no. The first buses are at around, 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock. He says, oh, well, take me to Sydney. Anyway, I'll pay the $50. All right. He says, I got to get to the Anacortes Ferry. Okay, Anacortes Ferry. No problem. But now, of course, because we went in the opposite direction, it's going to be more than $50 now. But never mind. We're getting on the highway. and we're on the highway coming out towards Sydney. And then he sees a sign for the airport. He says, "Oh, Victoria International Airport. Maybe that's better. Maybe we should go there." And then he's mumbling something. I can't understand what he's saying quite a bit of the time. And then I get him to the airport. Well, we get to the roundabout near the airport, and I say, "Well, if you still want to go to Anacortes Ferry, we can go that way or the airport." He says, "No, take me to the airport." Okay, fine. So I took him to the airport. It ended up being $60.20. And he was mumbling something about sleeping there till he gets paid on the 22nd. Makes no sense to me. Anyways, I got paid by way of MasterCard at the airport to drop this guy off. It all worked out. And he may have saved my night with his $60. It made it a lot better, that's for sure. One more night to go this week, and it's miserable and wet and yucky. It is now Friday morning. Friday morning at 5:27. And I find myself clearing out in the Western Communities. And I don't have any idea where that call is, and I don't... Oh, let's find out where it is. I'm gonna need the phone to find where the address is, so I'll get back to you. Okay, I'm kind of glad I went for that call. I should actually book off. There we are. Yeah, the time is now 5:46 on the same Friday morning, and I'm some $30 richer than I was before taking the last call. So I'm at 530 something. So at least my fuel will be paid for. Not 500, 330. Did I say 530? Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, so I'm at 330 something, 337, 338. And yeah, my night is done. I was reasonably busy at some point, and at another point I got to sleep because nothing happened for over an hour. I think my longest break was an hour and a half. And my longest trip was up to Sydney. There were these guys. There's a new Amazon center, and this thing is big. This is a big delivery place, this Amazon center, and they hired a lot of people, and a lot of them were hired from town, so they have to get out there to go to work. And the company pays for their cab. You know, you get there and you got three guys in the car, and they go to the door, and this boss of theirs comes out with a debit card and pays for the cab. Isn't that great? Yeah. Okay, so the cab gets paid for, and I get to go on my merry way. Let's get around this obstacle. Victoria's full of obstacles. They got to put concrete things in the middle of the road that you have to get around. And I'm not talking about roundabouts. This is like a blockage. So in order to keep going the same way you're going, you have to turn onto the cross street and pull a U-turn and then pull back onto the street you were on before. And they're cute about it. They changed the name but it's the same street that continues. Yeah, I've had enough. I've had enough. I'm gonna just park it and fuel it, or fuel it and park it. Add up all my charges, because most people pay with charges rather than cash. Yeah. Anything else really to talk about? I don't know. I don't really know. Traffic light. I still have a bit of a cough. I didn't take any Buckley's or any Neocitran yesterday, and then the cough comes back. So when I get home, I'll probably take some Neocitran or some Buckley's or something. Oh no, Buckley's is, yeah, I'm gonna want to go to sleep anyway, so Buckley's nighttime formula, a couple of glasses of scotch, boom, I'm out. But first, I gotta edit this video, and I gotta talk to my mother, and yeah, that's what I usually do at the beginning of my weekend. I hope yours is better than mine.